Hello everyone, welcome back to another day in the 100 days graphic design challenge. So today I'll be using this size 694 by 1374 pixels. Note that these sizes can always vary depending on the particular product label you're designing. So I'm just going to click create very quickly. So I have this. Next thing I'm going to do is to just start my design. I'll bring in my resource. Okay, I'll just drop this into Photoshop like this, and then I'm just going to hit enter. If you check this, you will see that it has a background. So I'm just going to head over to select, and I'll select subject, and then I'll just wait for it to select what I want. Okay, so I'm just going to click here. There are some parts that are not selected. I'm just going to do something like this. So we have this, then I'll click here to have something like this. I'll just right click and I'll convert to smart object. So this is what we have. I'm just going to click on this, right click, and I'll flip it to this other side, and I'm just going to increase this. Okay, I'll do it this way. Okay, I'm just going to hit enter, and then I'll hold my shift key and I'll drag it this way, making sure this particular drop is at the center of this design. Okay, so I'm just going to hit enter. We have something like this. The next thing I'm going to do is to start adding my text. So I'm just going to say Aloe skincare. So I'll type that very quickly. So I have this. I'm just going to change this color. Okay, I just pasted the text. I'll change this color to black. I already had the text, so I'm just going to change this to Times New Roman. Okay, I'll click on this one, and then I'm just going to increase this. So we have this. Next thing I'm going to do is to add skincare. So I'm just going to zoom in. So I'll change this to Poppins regular. Okay, and then I'm just going to reduce the size. Okay, then enter. I'll place it here, and I'll head over to this place, and then I'm just going to adjust this, and I'll just increase it a little bit. Okay, enter. Then I'm going to reduce this one. I'll just take this to 19.45. okay, enter. Then I'm going to reduce this. Then after that, I'm going to click here and I'll draw a rectangle. Okay, like this, and then I'm just going to change the color. I'll drop my tool here and I'll change this to this color. Okay, so I'm just going to say organic. I'll hold my alt and I'll drag this, and I'll just double click and I'll type organic. Then I'm going to take this to 20, enter, and I'll change the color. But before that, I'm going to take it up. Okay, so I'll just bring it here, and then I head back to properties and I'll change the color. Okay, enter. So I have something like this. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on this one and I'll drag. Okay, so I'll just change this color again to black, enter. Then I'm just going to say pure aloe vera essence. Okay, then I'm going to reduce this. I'll just click this and I'll click auto. So I have something like this. I'm going to reduce this to light. Okay, I have something like this, and then I'm just going to place this here. Next thing I'm going to do is to add a rectangle here. Okay, I'm just going to drag this over. So I'll just change the color of this rectangle to black, and I'm just going to type the benefits here. I'll just drag this and I'll say refresh suit nourish. So I'll actually left space in between because I want to add bullets on it. So I'm just going to reduce the size. Okay, so I'll click here and I'll click this to 5. Okay, that's too small. I'm just going to increase it this way and this way. So I'm just going to add bullets. I'll do that very quickly, just a tiny circle. Okay, change the color to black, and I will duplicate it for the 3 of them. Okay, okay, so this is what we have. I'm just going to select all of them, and then I'll just Ctrl G, then I'll reduce it. Okay, I'll just zoom in. So the next thing I'm going to do is to just add a rectangle here. So I'll just click here and then I'll click on this and I'll drag this here. Okay, just a small rectangle first of all. Okay, so I'll change the color. I'll give it a gradient. I click here and I'll click on this and I'll change this. So I'm just going to click here, click on this, and then click here, click here. I'll just pick this. Okay, enter, click here, click this, increase this. Okay, enter, then I'm just going to take this to 0, enter. Okay, I'll click here and I'll add another one at the middle here. I'll change this. I'll use a very light one, enter, and then I'll click this. I'll make it darker a bit, not too dark. Okay, enter. So I have this, enter, and this is what I have. Next thing I'm going to do is to also draw. I'll duplicate this one. I'll hold my shift and I'll just drag this. Okay, I'll hit enter. Okay, I'll just leave the color as this. Then I'm going to add a circle here, so I just click here. But before that, I'm going to bring this closer. Okay, to this. I'll just click a circle here, an ellipse too, and then I'm just going to draw something like this, not too much. Okay, then I'll click on this and I'll take it up. I head back to my layers and I'll just drag this up this way. Then I head back to properties. I'm going to change the fill to normal color, to solid colors. I just click here and I click on this one. Then I'll give this 2 and I'll change this to white. Okay, I have something like this. I'm just going to type 100% natural. So I hold my Alt and I drag. I head back to my layers and I'll take this up and I'm just going to type 100%, enter, and I'll say natural. Okay, so I'll just adjust this to fit into. I'll adjust it to fit to this circle. So I'm just going to do that very quickly. So I'll double click and I'll click on natural. I want to reduce the size. Okay, So I'll leave it at 5. And I'll just arrange this. I'm just going to click on the 100%. I'll just change this to regular. Now this is what I have. Next thing I'm going to do is to type my text again, another text here. I'm just going to do that quickly. So seeing that this text is not very visible on this background, I'm just going to remove this. I'll click this and I'll just drag it up like this. Then I'm going to click on this one. I'll click here and I'll change this. Okay, so I'm just going to click this and I'll just take it up a bit. Enter, and I'll take this one down a bit. Enter. So I have something like this. Then I'm just going to add 250 ml. Okay, so with that we have come to the end of this design. Okay, I'm just going to hit my Shift Ctrl S to save. Okay, so I'm just going to save as Aloe Vera. And I'll change this to JPEG and I'll just click save. Enter. So I just create a new file. Okay, I will use this, create, and then I'm just going to bring in what I'll use. Okay, so I will just drop it into Photoshop. This does not have a background, as you can see. And I'll just click this and I'll add lemon color. Okay, so I'll just click this, enter. Then I have this. I'm just going to draw a rectangle at the top. So I click on this and I'll just draw this over. So I'll change this color to black, and then I'm just going to zoom in so that I can crop it to get that particular shape. But then I'm going to reduce this opacity to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have this. The first thing I'm going to do is to click on my Control key, holding my Shift key, and I'll just take this way. Click on Control, holding Shift. I'll just take this way, and I'll just hold my Shift and drag this down. Second thing I'm going to do is to right click on Warp tool, and then I'll just take this. I'm just trying to get that tube like shape. Okay, so I'm just going to take this way as well. Then for this one I'll do the same. I'll take this inside, and then for this one I'll take this way. Okay, let's see if there's anyone we have not touched. Okay, so after I'm done with that, I'm just going to zoom in and do for the cover. The first thing I'm going to do is to hold my Shift and I'll just drag this to this point, holding my Shift. Then I'll right click and I'll click this Warp tool, and I'll adjust this, okay, to fit the cover. Okay, so this is what we have. Now I'll just make sure that I'll fit screen, and then I'll make sure that everything is in order. Okay, I'm just going to click on this and I'll right click and I'll click it to this particular shape. that I imported. So we have something like this. I'm just going to give the opacity to 100 first of all. Then I'll right click and I'll convert to smart object, okay, so that if I double click, it's not going to show me change color. It's going to take me to different canvas all together. So I'm just going to head over to my downloads and I'll bring in our design. So this is it. I'm going to drop it here very quickly. I'll just adjust this so that it actually fits with what we have. I'll right click and I'll clip this way, and then I'm just going to hit Ctrl S so that whenever I head back to my design, okay, so we have it here. This is what we have, and I'm just going to click on this and I'll change this to multiply, so we have something like this, okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to add a shadow. I'll create a new layer, and then I'm just going to drop once, and then I'll hold my shift and I'll just drag this, okay, and I'll just place it here. I'll hit enter, then I'll change this opacity to 50 and I'm going to hit enter, okay. So with that, we have come to the end of this design. You can always Ctrl J, clip, and you can change this to maybe overlay. I think that's too much. Okay, let's see the effects. Okay, for lightning. Now I'm just going to hit my Shift Ctrl Alt E to screenshot. Shift Ctrl Alt E. Then I'll head back to filter and I'm going to give it a filter here. I'll click here. Okay, I'll wait for that to load. So I have this. I'm just going to adjust this. So when I'm done adjusting this, I'm just going to hit enter. Okay, I'll just take this off. Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of this design. Okay, so I'm just going to see you in our next video. Please do like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.